All right, today I am working on a 96 Toyota Tacoma. Basically, we have no power to the fuel pump. All right, there could be multiple reasons why we don't have power to the fuel pump. One, we could have a bad fuse. ASM number 2. So this little 30 amp fuse. I'm just going to give you a brief, quick scenario real quick before we get into like semi-detail. This fuse kept popping. I had a short in the system, and I'll go ahead and get further into that. If you haven't already, give it a thumbs up, comment down below if you have any questions, and hit that subscribe button for more upcoming videos in the future. And we're going to go ahead and start this video right after the intro. All right, so first things first, we had a short to ground. I went inside. It had an alarm. I disabled that alarm because I thought the alarm was actually triggering I had a short. So anytime I did my ohms reading with the battery disconnected, I was obviously getting continuity with my power wire as versus the ground. Continuity means that this power wire is making actually contact with the ground. So my ground wire is right here, this white one right here. And I was doing that just to make sure, we weren't getting any contacts. Obviously, when I did it from the ignition side, we didn't have an issue, but when I did it from the harness side, I did have an issue. This wire powers the distributor and the igniter. Pretty common things that these guys go through. That's why sometimes I hate dealing with electrical problems, but this is a great learning experience for me. You would never think a part would cause this. Right here, this would be your fuel pump relay. Literally sits under your dash, sits like right here. Sorry, I couldn't see that on the camera, but yeah, sits right there just like that. This blue wire goes to your fuel pump. So if you're not getting power from this blue wire, you need to check your white and red wire. You should be, I think it's hot at all times or hot when the key's on the on position, and then as soon as the relay gets energized, the power would get sent over to this blue wire. Now, if you got power over here and not over here to the fuel pump, you can actually access the fuel pump connector from right there. There's a little tab you're just gonna pull up and test it out right here. So just so you can see, you just literally reach right over. There's a little right here on this side where my middle finger is. You're gonna there's a little clip. So I'm gonna put my thumb right here, push down, so push towards the pump, and then pull right back up, and then wiggle it right out. Now this guy will be on there pretty tight. So right here, you're gonna open this, you literally spread that right open, and that blue wire is gonna be your positive wire. And then obviously this white wire, that goes to that little ground area right there on the pillar. And that would be obviously our ground. And then these two wires right here, the little, what is it, white, red, and then looks like a purple or black, that is going to be for our fuel level sender. All right, so let's put that back. Now sometimes you might need to disconnect one thing at a time if you have that fuse popping. This is something I just had to check. Sorry, I'm just going to kind of show you areas to check. I already know what the issue is. All right, so go right back here. You got to check this area. As I was moving this harness, my continuity was changing out. So I was tripping out. This is like a weird case, but there was actually nothing wrong with the harness. So sometimes these guys, they'll rub through these bolts right here. They'll rub through the bolts. Pay attention, especially right here in these little corners, the sharp edges, they'll rub through that. Toyota's known for that. This motor's look like it's been rebuilt or something. Definitely been touched. So obviously we had a couple Mickey Mouses. As you can see, the harness is like this. I mean, it's a nightmare. All right, so every time I would crank it, fuse would pop. I'm like, all right, so what is that wire power? So it goes to the igniter, distributor, and then there's like one more thing it goes to. I forgot what that other thing is, or maybe I just might be overthinking. I've done too many diacs within those last 2 days and hopping in between cars. So once we crank it, what I would recommend to do is disconnect your distributor first, crank the car, and see if the fuse pops. If the fuse does not pop, then I would recommend to replace your distributor. Now, if it still pops, go ahead and disconnect your igniter and then crank it and see if it pops. If it doesn't pop, then either your igniter would be bad or your distributor would be bad. Obviously, I got another distributor and I already cranked the vehicle, grounded this out. So you'd ground the whole, you'd put like a little harness right here and then crank it. Obviously I knew that was it. There's a capacitor in there that that shortens out and it pops the fuse for that ASM. So pretty much that's it. Just so you guys are aware, it's a little short setup explanation, and hopefully this guys can get you through this setup. If you have that fuse for the ASM, that's what sends power to a little relay too as well. So right here, or I'm sorry, am2 30 amp fuse, and you can get these at your auto parts store for like $4. If not, you can actually make a fuse so where you can just test them out so you're not spending $4 in each one. Buy an assortment pack of a 30 amp fuse, and then just make a couple connectors with quick disconnect and do that so you can do testing, and you can actually save that in the future. But yeah, if this video helped you out, give it a thumbs up, comment down below if you have any questions, and hit that subscribe button for more upcoming videos in the future. And thanks for watching.